Hi everyone, welcome to my new channel, Downsize to Freedom. If you are thinking about downsizing, or maybe you've already started the process, I hope you will join me as I go through the journey of trying to downsize all my stuff and go work through all the emotions to get where I want to be. Now, whether you are downsizing for financial reasons, or maybe you're an empty nester or entering some other season of life, it can be really daunting when you start thinking about it. And every time I've thought about doing this in the past, I've been kind of overwhelmed because I realized I would have to get rid of like 95% of my stuff. And that in itself can be terrifying, especially if you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're going to need, and how are you going to get rid of all this stuff? And if you have to get rid of it quickly, how do you do that? So anyway, this is just going to be the intro. I'll tell you a little bit about my backstory, and maybe we'll start with the first 3 things you need to do when you are downsizing. You may think that you don't have an attachment to your stuff, but I'm going to challenge you on that. Even if you don't have a sentimental attachment to things, you may be hanging on to things because of a perceived monetary value. Maybe you spent a lot of money on something, or you think it's worth a lot of money, or maybe you think you might need it someday. Well, we can't predict the future, and we can only plan for so much, and the rest we have to leave up to God or fate. You might have a lot of stuff that you know you don't want anymore, but for whatever reason, you've been hanging on to it and you haven't got around to getting rid of it yet. Maybe you don't have a truck that you can transport things to the donation center or the dump if it's trash. Maybe you want to dispose of things in an environmentally friendly fashion, or maybe you want to sell things that take a little bit more time so that you can recoup some of the money that you spent and maybe help finance your move. A little bit of a backstory about me. I'm a retired nurse. I was a single mom to 3 boys for many years. And now with my longtime boyfriend, I have 7 grandkids. Over the years, I've had a few rental properties, and now I'm down to 1. Just 1 more triplex, which eventually I will downsize as well. But anyway, in my current home here, which I bought about 10 years ago, I was looking for a place that my mom could come and live with me that was nice. And there was not a lot of nice places out there. I wouldn't put my dog in some of the apartments that were available at the time as like an in-law suite. Anyway, after she passed, I turned it into a B&B. And I have been doing that for the last several years. And I had an epiphany about a month ago that I really can't stay here. I was initially thinking that this might be my forever home, but it's just too much for me. I mean, I have 3 driveways, I have 3 decks, I have walkways and steps, and it's just me to do all the snow blowing and the shoveling. My boyfriend doesn't live with me. He's got his own place in another town, and he has his own snow to do. So, I mean, he has come and helped me once in a while, but it's on me. This is my place. It's on me. So, I realized a couple of years ago that eventually this wasn't going to be my forever home, because I hurt my elbow really bad when I was snow blowing. Like, we had like 2-3 feet of snow, like 3 or 4 days in a row. It was terrible. And my snowblower does have reverse on it, but with the pulling back motion on it, it was always quicker to just pull things back when I had to do that. And anyway, I hurt my elbow, and it didn't heal until the next July. So that was my first, okay, I'm not staying here forever. But I wasn't ready to give it up yet. And now it's like we got dumped on again, like about a month ago. And I realized, what the heck am I doing this for? I'm almost 60 years old. You know, I don't I shouldn't be doing this. You know, I haven't been on a vacation in 2 years. I want to be free. I want to be able to enjoy my retirement, not be working like a slave all the time. And in the summer, I have 3 yards. I've got my front yard, my middle yard, and my backyard. And that's just my own home. That's not talking about my rental property, which I also have to make sure gets taken care of. And let me tell you, you cannot always find people to help you to do things when you need them done, which is why I'm doing it myself. So anyway, that's where I'm at. This new channel is going to focus on the whole downsizing process, from goals to reflections to practical tips on how to get rid of your stuff and figure out what it is you want to keep that is most important to you. Now, I am also going to have to start getting my house ready for sale and put it on the market and start looking for another place to move to. If I find another place to move to, that will probably motivate me to go a little bit quicker. As it is right now, you know, I don't have a set timeline. It might be 2.5, 3 years before I end up moving. But I have to start now because, as I mentioned at the beginning, I got to get rid of 95% of my stuff. So anyway, I better get started. Well, I told you I would tell you the first 3 steps in downsizing. So I will do that now. I'm thinking I should probably do a whole new separate video on that because I can get into a lot more detail. But number 1, you have to make the decision to downsize for whatever your reasons are for doing that. Number 2, you have to decide where you're going to go if you're moving or if you're staying, because you can downsize and stay where you are as well. That's always an option. And 3, you need to have a plan. So start making plans. Do you need help with that? You know, you might need to hire a professional organizer. Again, I'm not going to get into that too much right now. I think I'll save that for the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one and all future videos.